Hello everyone, this is Shannon Coates from the Vocal Instrument 101, and I think we're pretty much done with the whole charade of the Tuesday at 10 terrific tips and tools because I'm not even sure when the last Tuesday at 10 was, so we'll just leave that alliteration behind and just say, hey, here I am doing a thing, and this is the day that it is. Today is Wednesday. Let's go with that. I wanted to talk a little bit today as we're gearing into the new normal, the new schedule, the new academic schedule. I wanted to talk a little bit about motivating students to practice who may be considered lazy or not practicing students, and some ideas that have been kind of fermenting and that I've been suggesting to some of the folks that I work with, and to see whether you might be interested in, implementing some of these things in your studio. So this whole idea came to me first of all, or this whole thought process came to me first of all, when I did an online survey to determine what kind of person I was. I love those things. Anyway, I did an online survey to determine the kind of person I was, and it was through Gretchen Rubin. And if you Google her, and I think her thing is the Happiness Project. So if you Google her, she has an online survey that tells you what kind of person you are. And she breaks people down into 4 different categories. And the main 2 categories that I just want to talk about today, I'm really riffing off of what she talks about. This is really, please don't tell Gretchen that I'm doing this, because she's done all the science and I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. Let's see how that works for the studio. Anyway, so the 2 main categories that I wanted to talk about today are folks who are internally motivated and folks who are externally motivated. And if you are an internally motivated person, again, so general, I'm not the scientist. So anyway, if you are an internally motivated person, then the things that you prioritize for yourself, the things that you want to get done, you will be able to do, and you will be able to make the time for and prioritize for in a way that an externally motivated person will not. So an externally motivated person is motivated by the desires and the wants of other people or the people around them. And so they will end up prioritizing the things that other people need from them, rather than prioritizing the things that they really want. So how this kind of plays out in the studio is that we all have those students who practice sort of seemingly of their own accord. They're kind of unicorn students, a little bit unicorn students, but they practice of their own accord and they're able to put in that time. And as soon as you've had that talk around how to practice and some best practices around practicing, see what I did there? Then they're able to put those things into place for themselves. And we also all have those students, and we all work with those people, and perhaps some of us are those people who find it very difficult to set aside the time to practice and to do the thing of our own accord. And so we go through all of these different ways to try to set up processes for our students and try to help them to be motivated to practice, and we give them lots of different tips and tools, and we set alarms for them. I've actually literally done that in lessons with some of my teenagers. I've literally had them pull out their phone and set alarms for practicing on their phone. And so we've sent home 1,000 emails to parents with best practice outlines, and we've done all the things. So we have worked really hard to motivate our students. And in some cases that just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So something that I was thinking about with this externally motivated folks, with the people who are externally motivated, is some other ways to help those students practice or to work on the things they want to work on. My cat is meowing, hopefully that's not too loud. Within the studio context, and to make it easier for those students. And so there are 3 things so far that I've kind of thought about as fun ways to make this happen. And I've suggested a few of these already to some of the folks that I work with, and they're going to start to implement some things this year in their studio. So who knows? It's kind of fun. And honestly, there may be some people doing this already. I don't know. I've never seen it. So anyway, let's try it. So one thing that I wondered about and that I would like to suggest is to have a online contest for the singers where, sorry, not online contest, an online, oh gosh, sorry, I'm saying all the wrong things here. Not contest. Contest, we have to be careful because the folks who don't do well when they are compared to other people need to not have this as pressurization. So need to not be pressured by this. And there are lots of folks out there who do not do well when they are in comparison. Most of us don't do well. Who am I kidding? But so one idea is to have to find practice buddies. So maybe you have 4 16-year-olds in your studio who are working at roughly the same level, or maybe they're not even working at the same level. Maybe they're working on some of the similar just issues or whatever. Maybe they're not even working on the same thing. I don't know. It's just an idea. Let's go with it. So maybe you have 4 16-year-olds who in your studio. What do you think about introducing them to each other and asking them to text each other when they're about to practice? So they say, or to even text each other the morning of and be like, hey, I'm going to practice today at 4 o'clock for 1 hour, and have the rest of them have this sort of little external accountability group going on. This is something that works for me for running. So that's why I was thinking about it in terms of practicing, right? I run far more consistently when I know that my buddy is also going to be running that day, even though she moved to another town. It's okay. I'm fine. No, it's fine. She moved far away. Jerk. No, it's fine. But we often will text and she'll be like, okay, I'm going for a run like Tuesday and Thursday. And I'll be like, okay, I better run too. So something along those lines. That's the first thing. Having a sort of little practice group where everybody's kind of texting each other and egging each other on and being like, hey, I'm practicing today at like 5, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The other one I wondered about was having more like a contest. So this is a little bit more like a contest. So you would have to choose wisely who you suggested this for. And the contest would be something along the lines of, I, the teacher, am going to practice. And this is something that one of the singers I work with and studio owners I worked with got really excited about, and I just loved it. She kind of riffed off the idea, and then I stole it from her. So, I'm committing to you 5 students in my studio who I really like, but who also need some motivation to practice. I'm committing to you that I'm going to practice 5 hours this week. And if you if you practice more than 5 hours this week, I will give you a sticker. I don't know, whatever. I'll buy you a pencil. I don't know. You get to decide. It's your studio. So something like that, where you are in this kind of like fun little game with your students, where you're kind of one-upping each other. Again, that's this external motivation to practice. The third idea that I had, and this is a little bit more about personalities who don't practice because they don't like to be alone. That would be me. I would much rather be with people. So yeah, stickers, exactly. Sticker chart. Yes, that's awesome, right? Stickers. So if you practice for 5 hours and 15 minutes, you get stickers because you practiced more than I did, or whatever. And there are ways to chart practicing online. If you're using My Music Staff, there's a whole internal logging in to chart your practice online, or you could have the parents sign off. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Again, this only works for certain people, so be really judicious about who you're choosing to kind of involve in this, right? Anyway, the other thought that I had, the third thought that I had, was to have a group practice online sesh. So, and this kind of came out of some ideas and things that we were talking about in the Speakeasy Cooperative, which is a group that I'm a part of that you should check out if you have not yet, if you are a voice teacher. And also, again, some of the work that I've been doing in terms of knowing myself and knowing that I really prefer to be with people all the time, if that's possible. So this would be something where you, as the teacher, or perhaps within the studio, set up an online group. So this could be a group chat through Messenger. This could be a group chat through Zoom if you have the Zoom. It could be through Skype. It could be through I don't think Google does Google Chats anymore, but there are lots of platforms where you can do group online sessions where everybody's in the same room online. You can all see and hear each other, and you can all mute each other. So what you do is you all commit to meeting at the same time, say 4:30 every Tuesday and Thursday, and you open up that room, and everybody says at the beginning of the session, okay, I'm going to practice blah, 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 and blah, and my goal is to do blah, 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 blah. Ooh, I just thought of something. If you're the teacher, you could do a mini warm-up at the beginning of this. Oh my gosh, you could do a whole little mini warm-up, 10-minute little warm-up, and then they all tell you what they're going to do in practicing, and then everybody mutes and goes and practices, even though they're all still online. Everybody mutes and goes and practices, and then in a half an hour, everybody comes back and talks about how great their practice session was, or if they have any questions or whatever. Anyway, those are my 3 ideas about practicing and setting up something different in your studio for your singers, to see whether there could be some kind of external motivation, especially for our singers that we work with who are not internally motivated to practice. Anyway, try it out. Let me know if you try it out. Let me know if you get even better ideas. Riff off this kind of idea of what would be a great way to be externally motivated. I know sticker charts. Yeah, we've all tried the sticker charts. They don't work with a lot of students, right? A lot of singers are like, ugh, the sticker chart, thanks a lot. Or, there are lots of different ways to do that. But I think if you add that little extra motivation of either practicing in a group online or having some kind of accountability with your peers possibly, or having a little contest with you or with someone else in the studio, it doesn't have to be just with you, that just might help to up the importance of the sticker chart. I don't know. Try it out. Let me know what you think.